Hi everyone, good to see you. I was reading from the teacher's manual of A Course in Miracles, and there is such a fundamental explanation that we're given of how is healing accomplished. The idea that, hey, I'm sick, I need healing, right? And the way he expresses this is beautiful. Now listen to this. He says, healing is accomplished the instant the sufferer no longer sees any value in pain. The instant. The moment you don't see any value in pain, but he's not done yet. Listen, who would choose suffering unless he thought it brought him something and something of value to him, right? He says he must think it's a small price to pay for something of greater worth. For sickness is an election, a decision. It's a choice of weakness in the mistaken conviction that it is strength. So what he's saying is what? Sickness is a decision. Now, I am aware of the enormous resistance that this may bring about, right? Because sickness is one of the most defining characteristics of this world, right? Sickness, if you're sick, you're a victim. Something is happening to you beyond your own control. It's being, the world is doing this to you, right? So, but what he's saying is, no, you chose sickness. Now, listen to this. Healing must occur in exact proportion to which the valuelessness of sickness is recognized. In direct proportion. Don't you love that? One need but say, there is no gain at all to me in this, and he is healed. But listen, here's the crux. But to say this, one first must recognize certain facts. All right, ready? First, it is obvious that decisions are of the mind. We just talked about that. But there's no one that will disagree with that. Decisions are of the mind, not of the body. If sickness is but a faulty problem solving approach, it is a decision. There it is. Sickness is a faulty problem solving approach within your own mind, right? It's a decision. And he says, and if it is a decision, it is of the mind and not the body that makes it. The body doesn't decide to get sick. You just decide that you are separate. You just decide that you want to hold on to these thoughts that are not true. And when the mind does that, it's sick. Right? The mind that thinks it's separate from source, the mind that defines itself as a separate entity, the mind that rejects its own wholeness is sick. Now, what you'll then you do is displace that sickness to your body, and hence the body is sick, but it's still a decision of the mind. Love that. The resistance to recognizing this is enormous because the existence of the world as you perceive it depends on the body as being the decision maker. Listen, I'm aware that this generates enormous resistance, right? Because it finally verifies that the world is causing you. You're not causing the world, right? It's that reversal of cause and effect that this is trying to bring about. But until that reversal is being brought about, it seems that the world is doing something to you, and thrusting something on you. And therefore, you seem to be sick as a cause of something that you have nothing to do with. But this gives you back that power to heal yourself by reversing cause and effect. He's going to talk about that. Now, listen. The acceptance of sickness as a decision of the mind for a purpose for which it would use the body. Love it, right, guys? Because you can't accept that your mind is sick, therefore you displace it to your body, right? You can't deal with it. You want to be right about it. You're going to be right about yourself. Now, listen. For which you would use the body is the basis of healing, right? Again, sickness is a decision. That's the basis of healing. And this is so for healing in all forms. Truly, it doesn't matter what sickness you have. You go like, well, this sickness is worse. No, it doesn't matter. The form is not important. Right? There is no order of difficulty in miracles. And a miracle is a correction. Right? It's a correction, it's nothing else. This is so for healing in all forms. A patient decides that this is so and he recovers. Right? If he decides against it, he will not be healed. Who is the physician? Only the mind of the patient himself. Right? This is so fundamental to your mind training of the workbook of A Course in Miracles. Is that reversal of cause and effect that's being brought about, where you're no longer a victim, that sickness is a decision, and now you're going to bring everything in proper alignment. Now, um, it says the patient could merely rise up without their aid and say, I have no use for this. Listen, listen, he means what he says, right? Because you go like, well, this can be true for all sickness, or, well, maybe this is true for some. Listen, there is no form of sickness that would not be cured at once. Remember who this is coming from. This is not coming from a human mind. This is coming from whole mind from out of time. This is Jesus talking to you, right? In your own transformation. This is not, when he says it, he means it. And remember also that the Course in Miracles is um, uh, it, it's a complete thought system. There are no exceptions to it. Does that make sense? There's no compromise possible in this. It's not that some forms of sickness cannot be healed and other forms can. What is the single requisite for the shift in perception? Right? What's needed? Listen, it's simply this: the recognition that sickness is of the mind and has nothing to do with the body. Let that sink in for a moment, because those are not just words on paper. This is your entire spiritual transformation. What is this recognition going to cost you? I love this. It costs the whole world you see, for the world will never again appear to rule the mind. Because the world does appear to rule your mind. Something out there seems to be happening, and it's happening to you, right? It seems to be causing you as opposed to you being the cause of it. The fact of the matter is, the world is an effect. It is not a cause, and as an effect, it cannot possibly cause anything to you, right? Again, this is the reversal of cause and effect that we talked about. For with this recognition is responsibility placed where it belongs. Ready? Not with the world, but on him who looks on the world and sees it as it is not. What do you see? You see your own thoughts projected out. What do you see? You see a reflection of your own mind. It is not anything. All right? The world is not doing anything to you, nor are you doing anything to it. It's wholly neutral. It cannot make you sick. Only your mind can. Listen, and again, it's not real, right? It's not real. He looks on what he chooses to see. There it is. He looks on what he chooses to see, no more, no less. The world does nothing to him. He only thought it did. Right? When you think that the world has done something to you or is doing something to you, that's when your mind needs healing. The moment you recognize that it's an effect of your mind, because that's all there is, there's where the healing occurs. Can you see? What is it going to cost? The whole world you see, because the world will never again appear to rule your mind. This doesn't just pertain to a physical sickness. This pertains to everything, right? You can't just go like, well, I want to get my sickness healed and then I just want to move on the way I was going before. No, you're going to be changed forever in your entirety, because you're transforming yourself from your false idea of yourself to the wholeness of what you are. You can't have one without the other. Right? As he so beautifully says it here, the transfer value of one true idea is without limit. You see? That's spiritual awakening. That's spiritual transformation. That reversal of cause and effect within your own mind. It says, with this idea is pain forever gone, but with this idea goes also all confusion about creation. And there it is. What is the human condition except confusion about creation? It thinks it's the cause of itself. It thinks, if it even believes that there is a source, that it's somewhere else and it's separate from source. With this goes all confusion about creation. But with this idea goes also all confusion. Does it not follow of necessity? Place cause and effect in their true sequence in one respect, and the learning will generalize and transform the world. We've talked about this. We've talked about the idea that forgiving one person wholly is forgiving everything wholly. If you reverse cause and effect, it's going to transform everything. The transfer value of one true idea has no end or limit. The final outcome is what? I love this. He says, what's the final outcome of this? The remembrance of God. You're going to remember who you are. You're going to remember your source, right? I love it. He says, what do guilt and sickness and pain and disaster now have as purpose? They have none. They have none because they're gone. Can you see? It's like whatever you're struggling with, right? Simply apply this in your own mind, right? Whatever maybe physical symptoms you may experiencing, sickness is of the mind. Try it. Try applying this. I guarantee you it works. Sickness is of the mind, not of the body, right? And what is it going to cost? Well, it's going to cost everything the way you see it now because you're no longer going to wholly, you know, be able to continue in that belief that you're separate from source, and the belief that something is being done to you, and the belief that there is a world out there that you're not the cause of. It's a complete transformation of your mind. What a beautiful idea. This, by the way, if you're wondering where is this in our Course in Miracles, this is the teacher's manual of A Course in Miracles. And the section that I'm reading here is the perceived purpose of sickness. Right? Purpose, sickness does serve a purpose. It does serve a purpose in your own mind because the belief in sickness, or the belief that something can happen to you beyond your own control, the belief that you can be a victim, the belief that the body can be sick and therefore let you suffer, that is all the same belief. And it's the belief that the world is causing you as opposed to you are the cause of it. Can you see? It's the belief that the body can make you suffer because it's autonomous, instead of the sickness is in the mind. And really, it's just a miraculous shift. Those of you, right, who have practiced these ideas and suddenly felt your mind clear up and expand and relax and just be at peace, felt the instant transformation that it caused the body. Because it does. Because again, sickness is of the mind, not of the body. It's a decision, it's a faulty problem solving approach. I am aware that there is enormous resistance against this idea because your whole world depends on it. It's based on that idea. The moment you let that go, what happens? It's going to cost you the whole world you see. Well, what will I see then? You'll see the whole world transformed to the light and love that reflects your true self. I don't know how else to express this. But the fact of the matter is you'll never be able to see it the way you have been seeing it up to now. You will be transformed, and so will be the world. A mind that's transformed only sees the love of God and the light reflected back to it, in the sense of it, the world reminds it of it. Anyway, I digress. Read this if you have a chance today. It's a beautiful, beautiful section in A Course in Miracles, and it's so fundamental. I love you. I hope you have a great, great day wherever and whenever you are, and I'll see you everywhere.